Hi everyone, and welcome to Girls Invent. Tonight we're going to go through the 5 tips of how to get your product to market and improve your chances. I know it's an area that a lot of students have asked me questions about, so I thought it'd be a great opportunity to go through some of those. But first up, I just wanted to give a bit of an introduction. My name's Mark Glazebrook. I'm the founder of Girls Invent. And what we do is we're very committed to the creating opportunities for girls and young women to create their own businesses and to help get those to market. So we run programs in schools and help girls take their ideas and progress those as far as possible. So for this session, I'd like everyone to sort of feel part of a community. I'd like if you get resonate with something I say or something comes to mind, then just put some comments down below, or maybe tag one of the buttons like etc., so that I know that you're there, and so we can keep it kind of interactive. As we go forward, having your comments and questions will be great later on, because after I go through the 5 tips, I'm planning to do a bit of Q&A with everyone, just so that everyone kind of feels like they can also be part of this. So going into the 5 tips, the first one is around identifying what your micro category is. That sounds a bit like a fancy term, but effectively, I've got an example here with my dog toy. So this dog toy I invented to help home alone dogs, better engage in something other than barking and chewing things up at home. But when I first researched what this product would do and where it fit in the market, of course, dog toys was the first thing that came to mind. But when I learned more about the industry, I realised that there's actually these micro categories, and it's really important to understand where it fitted. So for this product, it was not just a dog toy; it was a treat toy and a toy for home alone dogs. So that was really important to understand not only where it fitted, but what other products were in those marketplaces. So when I started to engage with the industry, not only did I know a lot about my product, but I also was able to talk with some confidence about the terminology and where the product fitted into the overall scheme of things. So that just also conveys an element of confidence and knowledge that helps elevate the potential for you to progress your product. So that's the first area. The second area is, or the second tip, is to start to write the story of your product. We all love stories, and products are no different. It's really important to start to think about not just the product, but what does the product mean to the customers, and how are they going to interact and benefit? Not only, in the case of dog toy, not only what are the benefits for the dogs, but also for the owners. As I said before, reducing barking, destruction around the house. This part of the story is really important to be able to start to tease out, because later on in some of the tips that I talk about, this content is really powerful to be able to communicate exactly what your product will do. The third area is building your marketing collateral. So there's a couple of examples that you can think about. If you've done the Girls Invent workshops, you will be familiar with things like the product sell sheet, which is usually a 1-page document where you outline things like the name, the slogan, what does it do in 6 words or less, some of the benefits, maybe a photo or an illustration, so that quickly within 1 page you've actually got the total story. Sometimes in dot point helps, so that people pick it up and go, right, I know what this is about, I want to find out more. So that's a kind of example of a sell sheet. The other thing that is really helpful is developing a short video, maybe a minute or two, using your prototype or what you've created. And once again, taking the viewer through the story, how it works, how it's intended to be helpful to the user or the customer. So as I mentioned before, your story nicely fits into this, but you need to do some rough work to start to progress that. The fourth area is trying to find your key decision makers. Now, this sometimes is a challenging area, but because you prepared earlier on knowing your category, your micro category, you know your industry, you should have already picked up kind of the direction or the focus that you need to take. Recently, I was looking at a particular product and where that fitted in the market, and who are the key players and organisations. And I guess a micro tip in this space is you can think of products often that fit into your category, micro category, but what's often the case is that there are parent companies or larger companies that are the owners of those products. So physically going into a store, picking up the product, looking at the bottom of the product and seeing who the parent company is can really help you point you in the right direction to find out which companies you should start to target. The other thing that is helpful is to physically sometimes pick up the phone once you've got that information and to maybe speak to reception and ask in that organisation, you know, who is the key person when it comes to marketing or new product development. And often there's a person with that sort of position title. It helps you prepare getting somebody's name and also you know, how to address them when you later connect with them. And of course, the other area that you can attempt to find decision makers is online. LinkedIn is a very helpful tool to be able to see who has those sorts of job titles within companies. The other way you can do it is there are many people who will give talks to conferences or to various forums on products or things in the industry, and you can often find their name and their details and also what they're currently talking about and even trends, which can help you in the conversation that you have with them later. And the fifth tip is to obviously physically connect and to leave bite-sized pieces of information so that if they're willing to take a copy of your sell sheet or your video that you send them, hopefully via email, it's not too overwhelming. One pager, sell sheet, 2-minute video might be all that somebody's got time to have a look at, but you're being respectful of their constraints, but quickly able to communicate what your product's all about. So I'm not sure if there's any comments or thoughts people have, but they're the 5 tips that I wanted to highlight tonight. Obviously, we don't have a lot of time to go into them all, but you know, leave your comments down below and any questions. I'm really keen to hear about possible further topics for the next time we do this. I'm thinking monthly at the moment, but depending on people's interests, we might do it more frequently. Also, you know, include where you're viewing from. There may be people from all over the world, and it's great to see people dialing in. And lastly, if you wish to find out more about Girls Invent, maybe you haven't been involved so far in what we do, you can go to our website, www.girlsinvent.com.au. And there you'll be able to sign up to our Girls Invent community. You'll get our bulletins. But also, if you've got a product that you want to progress, we've got a really neat invention hub there where you can register the details of your product, because from time to time we get companies approaching us looking for nifty new products to maybe progress. So if we know about your product and how to contact you, we can kind of keep that in mind. Also, if you're a school, reach out. Love to talk to you more. And if you're an organisation that is interested in what we're doing and want to become part of what we're doing, or maybe you've got a new product challenge that might fit with where some of our inventors are, reach out. Love to hear from you. So that's all we wanted to cover tonight. Hope this has been helpful, and I'll catch you in the next session. Have a great one.